Shalom and welcome. Been a few weeks since I've done the videos because of all the turmoil and everything that seems to be going on right now with the elections and everything. So let's step outside the elections for a bit and let's talk about some spirituality. The other day, I had a situation in my work truck where my starter it's old. It was an original starter that came with the truck, and the truck's got like 229,000 miles on it. So it's done its course. It was a good starter, but it's like everything, it was going out. And Saturday, I kept the truck going, and then I got back to the warehouse, and my wife found somebody. Me and my wife found somebody through contacts to come change the starter at my workplace so that I wouldn't have to go rent a truck for Monday and all this kind of stuff. Well, not going to discuss the guy. I don't know him that well. I do know he's done work for me before, and he did a good job. A little high, but it's okay. He's coming out to my place to change it, so I really don't care. So we get his first starter, and the starter just didn't fit. It was the wrong kind of starter. So my wife dug and dug and found one that this guy recommended. So we went and got the starter, and the mechanic. So I got to do a little bit of alteration on this thing, but it'll be fine. Everything's good. So he did his alteration on the starter and put it on and bang, cranked it up, turned it off, cranked it again, started. So Monday morning at 1 o'clock, I come in, crank my truck, no problem, turned it off. Loaded my truck up, cranked it up, no problem. Started going down the road to my route. And then all of a sudden I hear a winding, like what sounded to me like a fan belt pulley locking up. So I'm like, oh no. So I, stop the truck, pull over on the side of the road, get my flashlight, look underneath, and fans they're turning fine. There's nothing stopping them. My lights are flattering on, they're going on and off, and I see all this stuff happen. I said, well, maybe my alternator's going out. Maybe it's locking up. But no, alternator was fine. So I get off of my first exit and pull over in a church's chicken parking lot and turn it off, and the truck keeps going. The motor's off, but the starter's still going. So needless to say, by the time I could try to unhook the battery to shut the starter off, it burned up. I saw the smoke and smelt it and knew at that moment the starter had completely gone. To make a long story short, should I say, got a more reputable company to haul it, take it to their shop, and they got the right starter, and we go pick it up, and he hands me a piece of wiring that the other mechanic had used to rig it to work, and it did work. But the problem is it wasn't designed to stay on, and when this little piece fell off, it fell onto the two screws that supply the power, so it shorted it out. So Mike, what's this got to do with spirituality? What's going on? Well, the Creator's plan is a perfect plan. The Creator's ways are perfect, and they're set. And you can't rig, and you can't alter, and you can't change. But that's the fun part of this journey that we're on, is we try to find truth. We try to find the correct path and everything. But many of us within our religions try to rig parts to make it fit the original plan. In other words, do not talk about God before the creation. It's by this that you have to be saved. You have to do this to do this. It's this, if it don't come from this, it's not of God. If it's not from this messenger, it's not from God. If you believe in any other messenger, it's not from God. And these are all fixed attempts to make that part fit that original car beautifully, to run perfectly. And guess what? It don't work. Now, I'm not saying anybody's wrong or doomed or going to hell or nothing like that. But what I'm trying to say is you are at some point in your life, and maybe it's not time for you yet, because many people go crazy and they go to atheism or agnostic. But there comes a time within everybody's walk that they have to start looking broader. They have to start looking at things. In other words, some religions will say, you can't read this text, this text is forbidden. And why is that? Why do they forbid this stuff? First thing is well, you'll lose your faith. Well, really? If my faith is so solid and grounded, nothing would make me lose my faith in that. So when you start seeing religious walls, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And there are some good practical advice that you don't do. Of course, you don't go to Satanism to learn about God. I mean, you may could pick up some facts there, but what I'm trying to say is most of the time, like when I was in Messianism and Hebrew roots, stay away from Enoch, stay away from the Book of Jubilees, stay away from the Dead Sea Scrolls, stay away from this. Well, why? And then within Judaism, you can't read this book. You can't read the New Testament. You can't read this. If it's not Rambam, you can't do it. Why is this? Well, the fact is people are protecting a religion. They're protecting a lifestyle and a religion, not so much truth. So my point to you today is don't be like my mechanic who got the wrong size starter and tried to rig it into my truck, knowing that it was never going to work because eventually that piece was going to fall off because it wasn't designed to work that way. And the same thing with the Creator. The Creator has a set way that you come to Him. Now, unfortunately, we've lost this way because we've been to and fro for thousands and millions of years. So some of us stand up and say, we want the Creator. And you start opening up, reading other books and looking at things and realizing, wow, we've been lied to, or we've been misled, or this religion is protecting this and this religion's protecting that. So if people tell you don't read the Zohar, probably should read the Zohar. If people tell you don't read the Quran, maybe you should look at the Quran for yourself and see what it says. Or people say don't read the New Testament, maybe you should read the New Testament to see what it actually says. People say don't read that book Towards the Light. It's a Gnostic, it's whatever. It's a Gnostic or whatever. It's not. Read it. If people tell you to read the Book of Enoch, well, that's not Scripture. Well, what is Scripture to you? If it's leading you to truth, it is Scripture. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes within the religion that you're settling in, you're going to come to a point that you're going to have to broaden your horizon. You're going to have to look at other things. You've been hearing all these years, Islam murders people. Well, go to the source and find that. Is it a hadith? Is it a mistranslation of something that Muhammad had said? What is it? Or Enoch says this. We know the Nephilim were actually... Well, go and research and find out where the original points come from. Or the calendar is this. Well, research and find out what the calendar is. Gnostics are a big heresy. Well, why are they a heresy? You're going to have to study to find out why. The Zohar is dangerous. Why is the Zohar dangerous? If you don't read it, how do you know these things? So what I'm trying to say is you're going to have to open up this noggin. You're going to have to be steady in your belief in the Creator. And that's what I do. I have steadiness to know that I have a Creator, a God, an all-powerful Creator out there. Everything else is trivial. So it doesn't bother me when I see falsehoods or misinterpretations or things within my walk. I know that my faith is true and in the Creator. So what am I trying to say here? Don't walk like this and just listen to your religious leaders. Take the blindfolds off. Step out on the wild side and know you won't lose your salvation. But don't say things that you've never studied. Don't say the Zohar is dangerous if you've never read the Zohar. Don't say the Sufi path is dangerous if you've never studied what Sufism teaches. Get out of your box. Study. Be free. And maybe you never will leave your religion. I don't care. I'm just saying, don't be an ostrich with your head in the sand. Open up the Creator, and that we are living in the greatest time of history, I believe. Much turmoil, much confusion. This is the time the Creator is saying, come on. So don't get your head buried within what's going on in the world, but get it buried in what's going on spiritually. So have a great day. Thank you for your time. Shalom.